Okay. Oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. All right, here we go. We're back at this. Let me turn my music down here that only I can hear. Okay. So here we go. We're back here. Oh, hi, Gus. April Fool's Day. Yes. Oh, boy. What is the April Fool's that I'm actually streaming? Maybe. Okay. Thanks for joining in, Gus, coming back. We're still working on this thing. You didn't see this yesterday, I don't think. You didn't pop in. It's all right. Let's see. So we're working on this interior. I'm going to keep working on this. I feel like the space is... So what is this thing? Let's review. This thing is LUCI, and Primer character takes LUCI. See, he has LUCI in his hands here. Places it into the Jeep in the vehicle to make it that vehicle AI driven. So, but first, early in the story, the beginning of his story, and this LUCI is a helper here in this carrier, this transport, this that is being hauled by transport trucks. And let's see. That scene, or at least this set here, this takes place. Let's see, I'm trying to find it here. Let's see if I'll find another. Takes place in this. You think I'd be prepared, but I jump in, do these videos. So this is basically in this transport. Okay, I'm going to find this. I am going to find this one. I was trying to find a new one, but let's just do this. Prepared? No, I am not prepared. I work right up until the minute. So this is where we introduce our character in this, which was mentioned yesterday. Actually, what I should do is, what I'm gonna do, let's be prepared for another time. Let's just throw this in the scene. This gives us a sense of what we're supposed to do or why we're doing this. So as you can see, you might see it here, is that this interior location here is in a container. It's in a box that's right here. And that box is tipped over. It's like a shipping container. And the box is tipped over in this fashion. So it's tipped over. Our hero Prime starts in this little stasis chamber. It opens up, he spills out, and that's where his story starts in this in the story, in the graphic novel, AAA title. So what we're building is Lucy here, and where she starts in this scene. So let's go back to this elevation, and I like this. I like what we did yesterday with the arm. There's kind of things I would tweak and change. I built some of this off stream. I changed some of this housing. I'm realize that I'm not kind of that happy about this housing, so we're gonna fix this up. We're gonna try to make it look like something we can love. Do I work for a computer game company? I used to. I used to work for different companies, many companies. Companies like Activision, LucasArts, EA, Telltale. So, used to do that. Now I'm doing other things, doing this. So let's see, what do I have as potential references? Here we go. Sort of prepared with this. I had to fix some OBS problems, but so here's some of our references. We used this for the gun, the EMP gun. And we're going to continue with this look. So I'm going to turn that off so we can have a full screen, but I can bring it in again here. So yeah, we built some of this stuff out using these elements of references. I might want to make more of this up here. So let's do that. I'm trying to get better at this streaming stuff here, but yeah, I worked on Star Wars games. I worked on a Simpsons game for EA. I worked on a Wallace and Gromit game for Telltale, which is from your home country, Nick Park, in his studio. Let's see. So this thing travels along a track. I don't know if they can see this. It's probably hard to get the lay of the land. Maybe I should isometric. Make another isometric. Make another view. That's isometric. Okay. So the track, what I want the track is to go probably loop around like this in an oval. So these fins are going to have to move. This door is going to, this is a hatch. We're going to move, we're going to have this hatch open at some point. So I'm going to remove these fins. Actually, I'm going to keep these two. This one. It'll travel around this. I think it'll fit. We'll see. Yeah, it's not a bad resume. So this story is inspired by a little bit of all that. So what we're seeing here is one of the characters, one of the main character's imagination of this story, and this story is what it becomes a video game. So in all actuality, all this is a video game. So let's see. Keep going here on this. Let's take. So what I probably should do, let's start off. I started off with this and I came down to the arm, but let's go back to the top. How does this thing, and I have a rotation here for this arm, but I can also have a rotation. So I have a feeling this character needs some hands. So we're going to do that. We're going to give it some kind of robotic hands. Oh, and so you asked what's the endpoint of all this work. All this work is a graphic novel. All of this. So it's a lot of work for a graphic novel, but in the end, I think I believe it'll be worth every bit of time I put into it. And frankly, what I'm doing here is this stuff, the game world, is the hardest part. Most creative, probably also is also the most challenging. But yeah, it's the hardest part of all this. Okay, let's group this up. And we're gonna come on. Go up only. Blue. There you go. Oh, it'll get published. Not to be overconfident about it. It's because I'll going to self-publish it for sure. Wherever's going to happen, it's going to be published, and then that's not on the center, is it? There you go. That's not even on the center. So just trying to make sure I have a center point. Not that I need to put this on any particular thing just yet, but I can kind of do that. So what I want to do is keep maybe I should let's see, what do I have here? Let's put this over here. Oop. Let's do this differently. Okay, we got this here. We're gonna and then I'm going to, what I need to do is make a what I want to do is make, well, I can mock this up with these pieces and just get a feel for what, because we're going to use the same design style, but we're going to make them bigger. It's probably, I don't want to off scale it too much, but so I'm going to use pieces like this. And what I want to do is, let's group that, is to create like a little spidery I'm gonna make an array of these things. Now I'm going to change this, but probably. But I want to block this out, make it, see if I could figure out if this is going to work for me. So that's 4 of those. It's not quite perfectly centered, but that's okay. So that's looking interesting. If I take this, let's hide that. And then these probably, let's see. I'm going to make room for, obsessive about small details all my life. I can't tell you how much this can control things. And then you say, are you the same? I'm not sure what you mean by control, but if I get what you're inferring, potentially, yes. I think one of the reasons why, not to get too psychological about the actual book and the story, one of the reasons I like doing this stuff in 3D instead of just like drawing it, which, you know, I used to be, I think, a pretty good artist, 2D hand-drawn illustrator type artist. I still do a little bit, but, you know, I'm not as proficient. But one of the things I like modeling and doing this kind of stuff, and I never was really a professional modeler in the industry, in the game industry. I was a designer, artist. I was an animator, 2D animator, art director, and then artist, game designer. But one of the reasons I started really modeling, doing this stuff, as a storyteller or as a designer, I was a world builder. I liked the ideas of worlds and stuff. And doing these things in 3 dimensions was and is like, you know, the probably what you're talking about is a little bit of being obsessed about the details. And being, as a world builder, being obsessed about details is all of it, in a way. You have to have that a little bit. You have to be a little bit obsessed about the details to build this world. Let's see. To build any world. So let's see if I can do this. And so you weren't here yesterday for this, but you've seen this in every one of my these bolts, these connections, all this should tell a story. And as I create these elements, the story becomes realized, new things, ideas come to mind, and an evolution of the theme and the importance of the details and the elements that come alive. So that's a big deal for all this. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to block this out. I'm going to make all these. Some of these are components and stuff. I think most of these pieces are components. And I'm going to vary these because each one of these arms are going to do a different job. So probably 2 of them will do a job, or like holding, and the other 2 will be doing other things. So I'm gonna make this very asymmetrical, which is my favorite thing to do. Let's see. By control, I mean once I fixate something, I cannot let it go, and it is fixed to my satisfaction, which can be never. Yes, I'm exactly that. You hit the nail on the head. So, and you may or may not know this. I don't know you if you're in the Sketchucation or SketchUp community. Some of these things I've been doing for decades. So, yes, can't let things go until they're perfect. And it's not because I haven't finished this because it's not been perfect. It's just time, not knowing exactly what this what kind of things I want to use these elements for. So I just been building stuff I love, cool things, and creating interesting background and stories behind it. And then it all coalesced into this final story that I'm working on right now. So it's all good. So I had 2 stories that I was working on early, about 2005. And they're all influenced by a lot of different things. And then one of those stories started being developed, AAA Title, that story about the game designer. And then Fuel and Fire kind of evolved a little alongside it. I was doing that in COVID, and then I decided to merge the 2. So they're merged now because I needed a game for the story. Let's see. Indeed, the details are important. When you can zoom in, but how important are they to the average player? And I mean viewer. So for this particular thing, I consider the viewer, the reader, or whatever, a player as well. And so I want them to feel like they're playing within this book. My love as a kid was like Richard Scarry books, and that and in any novels when you're reading. And so when you're looking at images and stuff, you're looking at them and your eyes are moving through the book, through a page or a spread, and you're picking out details. And so you're actually kind of creating these images and potentially an editorial of the story in your mind. You're selecting images, you're selecting things you want to focus on. And so, like what you're talking about, this is what this story will be doing, is that I want people to look at the book and obsess over details. So in Pinterest, I have been started collecting objects that I have to build, or I'm collecting objects that visualizations and inspiration for different things I have to build in the story. Now, none of this is in the script. None of these details are in the script. Some of them are, but plenty of them aren't. But you'll see them, and you'll wonder. And that's what I want for the viewers, to wonder what they are, what they do, or know what they are, because it's pretty obvious, and some of them should be pretty obvious, because they're part of a larger context of a game. So, if that answers the question. So, let's continue blocking this out. Okay, I gotta make that unique. And let's get. And I'm not measuring and inferencing anything here. So things are going to be wonky and different, but that is exactly what I want. I want them to feel like each element. Let's see, where did that? Okay, it's that. Let's make that shorter. Oops. I gotta stop. I'm gonna use my pen. I didn't. Oh, I'm getting this in the way here. Let's tag this. Delete it. Okay, I'm going to go to this. I'm going to delete it. Update. We're going to go to our this. Make sure it's not visible and then update. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. Those are good questions. Is really it's really what set the heart of this story. I was explaining this to a friend of mine, and then it's, oop, what's going on here? It's not. Oh, that's right. Who originally didn't get why I was doing this the way I was working, and now they kind of get it, you know. And sometimes they can't. It's hard to express why you would put every bolt, but that's all part. I kind of like the scaling of this. I'm going to do something crazy in terms that these volumes are bigger, even though they're the same shape, that these are bigger. The bolts are bigger, everything's bigger. There's a part of me that likes that, but I'm going to do something crazy and do this and kind of make these a little leaner. Now that, just to see if that's where there's a better way of doing that, of course. So maybe I should just go ahead and do that. And the better way is to just do it here. So should I split them in half? I'm going to do that. I'm going to... Now that didn't change the sizing. This will. Okay, now the problem I'm going to have is... I mean, that's too much. So I got to do this for every single one. I should have, could have. I could still do that. I might weld these together and then remake those, which would be a lot easier. But this tells me a lot. This is good. It's good that I it's good that I map this out or block that out. Again, I must leave now. Oh yeah, window is very small. Oh, good night. It must be late over there for you. I should stream earlier, but the day gets filled up. I want to try to do the mornings, do early mornings, which wouldn't be good for you. But, or maybe it would. Yeah. Mornings better for you. Evenings better for India. Okay. Again. Oh yeah. All right, Gus. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna try to make it early. Probably about I want to try to start doing about 6 or 7 my time. That'll give me a couple hours before I have to start feeding the cats, stuff like that. But I appreciate you jumping in, chatting. Your great questions, always appreciate that. Your experience in this and is very welcome as well. You know, I'm still working on that space mouse. I've got a plan, I think. So what I'm going to do is get this better. Then I'm going to repeat it. Again, and then resize them. That's going to be easier than just rescaling everything. Ooh, I missed. I think. Is that right? Does everything look good? It's probably some broken stuff. Even if it's broken, it probably won't matter for me. And then I'm going to reset these bolt sections. Okay. Yeah. So how am I going to do this? So I'm going to keep that the same. I'm going to, okay, these are all components. And they're rescaled. I could reset the scale, but that's well, actually that's not right. Let's not. What I'm going to do is make this unique. I'm going to put it where it needs to be. Actually, where does it need to be? Put it on that flush. There you go, that's flush. This end cap here should, well, it should be the opposite, right? Yeah, no. I feel like this should be the opposite. Yeah, not that it matters. We're not going to change it. I would imagine that you would want the bolt to come in through the short side, so you have a lot of thread to latch onto on this side. This seems it's not represented well in some of the reference that inspirations I'm drawing from, but that's what I imagine. But we're not going to change it. But I know it's wonky, it's weird. So then what we're going to do is, this might not work actually, but I think, because I think it's going to scale it. But let's test. Okay, that didn't do anything. Why did it not? We can try it again. We can try something. Is that? Oh. That's funny that it's that way. Okay. Let's stop. Oh. Okay, here's the other easy way to do it. Potentially easy way. Don't try this at home. Okay. Oop, what the heck? Let's move this out so I can get into here. Good enough. No, not perfect. Where's the green? There's the green. We can do that. Oop. Got lost. And then we're going to snap that to there because that should be match. Okay, there you go. So this one is wrong too, but what we'll do is just delete that. And just drive this up here. And then snap it. There you go. Oh, it's still off. There you go. Then we're going to do the same here. This should be a full. Okay. Easy peasy. Okay. And I'm going to add more here, but we're going to do that. Well, let's do that now. So now what I can do, let's return this back to this array. Let's get this closer to the top just so we can have a sense of where it should be. So I should have, but we'll do this now. That's not, we could explode this, maybe, and then group, there. Still not straight. Sorry, I'm zipping around here. That's just the way. Actually, let's go back on this. And this is a silly trick. There's always a better way of doing this than what I'm doing probably, but this is a silly trick that I use to see if I can square things off. But again, there's always probably a better way than what I'm doing. There you go. It just needs to be, just closer. So there. Actually, wait a second, there's an even better way. We're gonna want to there. Okay, didn't need my trick. That's better. Now I guess in some ways I don't care that it's that wonky. Kind of, well, let's not worry about it being straight. I think it's kind of cool that it's not. So now I can put this at the center. We're going to kind of redo our array. Let's put it about where it needs to be. And then we can recreate this scenario. Let's do it this way. Now I have more than before, but it's a good even number, or a good even radial. So a 2 that's centered off. Let's I'm going to copy this. Let's copy both these. And just put it in the scrapyard. Let's do this on our most squared off. Now I can recreate what I was doing before. Delete this. Where's the component? Oh, that's right. This one isn't the component. This one is. Come on. Oop. Can I make it that small? Let's do it. These are a little too low. Okay, so this might be a little overbearing, but let's see what it looks like here. I'm not sure why, but maybe this transparent class does a lot of funky things with this render. What could it be? I don't know. So what I'm gonna do is build out this joint. I wonder how much rotation we need, because I can so I'm gonna reuse. I could reuse these. I'll figure out. We can build these out a little bit, potentially a little bit better. They're kind of in the right zone. But we want to, I'm going to give this a little more detail. Let's do this. I'm okay with that intersection. Keep these meshed with no chamfer. Let's make this a little deeper. A little deeper. There you go. beat this to here. This thing is going to be the same as that. So let's there's the easy method. Apparently, this is the easy method. How easy was that? And then what I want to do is add that to there. Actually, this. Oop. This is what I want. Okay. I have a feeling this would bug machinists out there everywhere. It bugs me, so I'd imagine it bugs machinists. So does this. But I'm not going to change it now. Maybe in the future. Okay, these for this segment is feeling a little bit too big. Can I scale them down and still be believable? Green, come on. Yeah. Okay, so these I want to there's another thing I want to let's group this. Let me think how I'm doing this. Oh, I'm missing a piece. That's why I did that. Yep. There you go. I used to work with this architect in Duncan. And he was a level designer and an architect, licensed in New York. And he had these great methods of creating disparate shapes, scaling and rotating, sort of like Levius Woods, but in a very artistic way. So it's sort of very inspiring that that's work. And that's kind of how I'm feeling about some of this, is like, that's like, I don't have a complete plan to like how this works. Is that right? Yeah, that's the center line. That's interesting. But you put all the stacking of details in there, and and the volume start kind of creating itself. Start building exactly what you were looking for, and it emerges. It's not something that's some people sketch, draw. This is kind of how I have been doing my work. I'm not sure if I like that. See, again, there you go. Would have been easier to draw this and try to plan this? Maybe, but sometimes these shapes emerge out of the process. So what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to make this rotate. No, I don't need these two parts to do that. I could technically... I'm going to use this one because it's shorter. It's already kind of in the direction. But I think I want it to hang this way. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take both these parts again. I know how this is gonna connect. I'm gonna take these two. Should hang down, right? That's kind of cradling that. And then this should rotate. It's not rotated all the way over. Oops. Oh, they're not rotated properly. Where am I? Oh, I'm upside down. Oh, that's because this piece is rotated. Oh, and that's not. Oh, now what I got to do is make the hands or make the. Do I have any reference that I have? Of any inspiring material? Don't want it to be a claw-ish. Well, I want it to be a claw. Okay, I got it. Okay, let's do this. Let's see if I can. Oh, those aren't welded to anything, are they? Is that really the size? What's going on? Oh, scale's all wrong. Let's just take these and then let's figure out how we can. Oop. Let's see. Okay, so now let me separate this. Let's spin this whole thing so I can make a, what's the easiest way of doing that? Does that do it? There. If the levee breaks. Oop, shit. Pardon language. That's not what I wanted. That's what happens when you hit the wrong number key. Now I'm lost. Here we go. It's over here. Okay. Actually, does that work? That did work. Okay. Now let's take this and do that again. Now that's not centered. Why is it? Something wrong here? it's kind of doing, okay, that's better, but it's doing a midpoint in group. Oops, let's try that again. There's better ways of doing that, but again, like always. I don't know if that's, they're not lined up. I probably screwed up that measurement. Well, that looks pretty good. Keep it. Okay. So we're going to do 4 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to kind of mark them this way. Okay. Let's make the fingers first and I'll position them. See how to, what would they look like? Too big. probably could be longer. Okay. These look too symmetrical, too. Oh, did I duplicate this? What's going on? Okay, let's not make this so big. Let's not make this just a little bit bigger, but not that big. There you go. Okay. Let's go back to this. Okay, so this unit, there's bolts hanging out there, right? Yep. Okay, and that's going to be attached to something here. Something coming off of here. And it probably shouldn't be that big. Yeah, that makes sense. And this back part needs to have something interesting going on. Let's see. And none of my reference has hands or fingers. Oh, I want to change this bolt structure. Yep. Let's do that. Okay. Now I can take that. Let's delete these. Boom. Three, right? Okay. Then I took that. Oh, I could have done. I'm going to use the same thing, but it's not the good way of doing that, but still selected. Where's the center? Come on. Come on. these center lines. Sometimes it finds it. Okay, talk about obsessing over the details. Here are the details. Those are the details. Let's see what else is I can improve this thing. It's kind of pretty good. Kind of pretty good. How's it going to... Gonna have its own joint, but it should be close to the center. So I think it's gonna do this. Probably gonna create another probably bigger than that. Oh, this kind of thing I wanted to do, but let's mock up the look. Is I wanted to create some stacks of circles or rotating discs that allow these elements to change, and then we'll do this too. Oh, let's do it this way. Actually, this should have a round cap. I'm gonna play around with doing something like this. We can center this up. Yeah, something like that. Now, technically, it should be on a ball. It should have a little more rotation than that, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Okay, so we're almost done here for today, at least on the stream. What I am going to do is let's think about how this works, but for now, let's give each one of these things a hand. Not all of them needs a hand. Let's do that one there. And we can get them close. There. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's not keep, let's move these at different levels. Oops. Probably what I should do is create there. So I can go back to this, I can do this. It's better to do that with tags, but okay, so let's get that. We're gonna let's name these. Okay. There you go. Okay, now I can oh, Did I do that way? That's arm 1. Oh, I think that needs to be there. Arm 2 is good. Okay, now that's good. Oops. Okay. I'm going to do this so I can rotate this. See, I feel like that needs a joint. So this joint goes this way. This needs like 2 joints in it, right? Let's map that out. So we do this. Not that that's the cleanest way of doing that, but it's a way to, this should be rounded off, right? It shouldn't be anyway, that's going to be, let's look at it in the scene. It's going to be where we're going to end it today, but I think that's heading in that right direction, correct direction, the best direction. And then we'll copy that over for those. Cool, I think that looks cool. Let's see, what kind of scene do we have? So most of the time I'm going to see it like this. We'll have to work on this. Got to work on this whole system here. How this connects. Yeah. And this probably shouldn't go to. Yeah. This actually could be a light. Okay. Alrighty then. Started off with some good conversation. And then started developing our next steps for this. That's good. We need to get this column in gear. This stuff, we'll start repeating these shapes. We'll gear up these things. We'll joint them, make the joints all. This is gonna, let me get to a better view. This is gonna be all radial, that'll radiate from the center. That'll eventually connect to these things somehow. So we're going to add another arm here to connect all these. They're all different lengths. They're all weird lengths. That's okay. That's good. Like that. You don't want it to be too uniform. Want it to feel like there's reasons for things. And that'll be good. So here we go. That's it. I'm going to end on this. Thank you. It's 5 o'clock. And we'll see you tomorrow.